Chapter 2054. The sudden impact directly knocked the engine compartment of the entire commercial vehicle into the front seat. The driver and the other assistants sitting on the co-pilot died instantly. Faria sat in the middle row of the commercial vehicle and had buckled her seatbelt, so at the moment of the impact, she was firmly tied to the seat by the seatbelt. However, because of the great inertia during the impact, she had 4 ribs broken by the seatbelt. And Swallow next to Faria had no such good luck. When she got in the car, she was a little slack. She always felt that she didn't need to buckle the seatbelt when she was sitting in the back. So, at the moment of the impact, she flew out and slammed into the back of the front passenger seat. At this moment, her whole body was smashed, including her head, and she instantly lost consciousness and went into a deep coma. Because of the rib fracture, Faria felt terribly painful in her chest, but before she could catch a breath, the entire front face crashed into a commercial vehicle with scrap metal and was pushed back by the big truck. Because the 2 front wheels of the commercial vehicle were smashed into a massive scrap iron together with the wheel hub, there was a group of sparks abruptly piercing the ground under the front face of the commercial vehicle. Faria turned her head back hard at this time, glanced back, and she was suddenly cold in shock. Behind the car was that U-shaped curve. However, this big car obviously wanted to push the commercial car she was sitting in directly down the cliff. The height here was at least hundreds of meters. No matter what car, rolling down from such a high cliff, it would fall into a pile of scrap iron. And the people sitting inside would surely die too. At this moment, she immediately realized that all of this was not accidental. This big car deliberately did not turn on the lights. Deliberately drove in the middle of the road, deliberately hit her car by going downhill, and not only did it not decelerate at all after the impact, it even slammed on the accelerator, trying to push her and the others into the cliff. At this time, she could no longer think about who was murdering her behind her back, because she knew that her life might only have less than a minute left. She had never expected that she would be buried in a foreign country today in her prime years, and a strong feeling of grief suddenly appeared in her heart. At this moment, the first thing she thought of in her mind was not herself, nor her grandfather and other relatives, but the man who always lingered in her heart, Alex. She choked in her heart. I originally thought that there is still a long way to go in life, so it is okay to wait for Master for a few years or even more than a dozen years. But who would have thought that my life is about to fall down a cliff in China? Alas, I die in a foreign country. Thinking of this, Faria was already full of tears. She endured the severe pain in her chest, took out her phone, clicked on the top of Alex's portrait, and then clicked the voice message button. At this time, the commercial vehicle had been pushed to the edge of the cliff by the truck. Faria looked at the phone and cried, saying, "Master, I really love you. If there is a chance, Faria will be your woman in the next life." As soon as the voice fell, the entire commercial vehicle was completely pushed off the edge of the cliff, rolling and falling into the abyss.